The first one, the sum of all even numbers between 1 and 101. So between 1 and 101. 1 and 101. So if you are considering this range, here we have to consider all the even numbers. All the even numbers in the sense, here we are considering the numbers, those are 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. up to 100. So this is nothing but the sum of first 50 even natural numbers. So here, what is the sum of first n even natural numbers? Sum of first n even numbers or even natural numbers. So that is n into n plus 1. Here we know that this 100, that is the 50th even number. Here this 100 is the 50th even number. Here n is equal to 50. Because here we are adding the first 50 even natural numbers. Therefore, what is the sum of first 50 even natural numbers? That means 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus etc. up to 100. That is 50 into 50 plus 1. So what is 50 plus 1 here? So that is 51. So therefore this is 50 into 51. 50 into 51. So therefore put 1 0 here. This is 5. This is 25. Got it? So therefore the answer is 2550. So this is the sum of first 50 even natural numbers. Here we are considering the even numbers in this range. Next question, Mr. Tyagi spends 15% of his salary on entertainment, 35% of the remaining on children's school fee, and the rest money on savings. Then we have to consider the remaining concept. So here, suppose this Tyagi's total salary, here we have to consider the total salary of Tyagi. So here we are assuming, let the total salary. Let the total salary. So here we are assuming the total salary as X rupee. So Tyagi spends 15% of salary on entertainment. So here we are considering the remaining quantities. So after this 15% spending on some head, so what is remaining will be here. So X rupee, it's 85% will be remaining. Got it? So here 15%, it's spent for entertainment. So remaining 85% will be there. 35% of this amount spent for children's school fee. So think about which will be the remaining quantity. Or this step we can express like this. If the total salary as X rupee, so here 15% it's deducted means 100 minus 15 by 100. Then it's 35% spent means 100 minus 35 by 100. So this is the remaining amount here. Rest money on savings. So this is savings amount. This is equal to 3,300 and 150. After simplifying this one, this is 85 by 100 into, what about this one? This is 65 by 100 of X equals to 33150. So we can take these all values towards right side. Therefore, X equal to 33150 into, this is 100 by 85. And what about this value? This is 100 by 65. So we can simplify these values here. Or otherwise we have to simplify the values directly like this. So if you are doing the operations while observing the values here, here we know that these values is exactly divisible by 33150. First of all, I am just trying to divide this value by 85, whether it's possible directly divisible by 85 or directly divisible by 65. I'm checking this one. So if I am dividing this 3315 divided by 65, which will be the value. We are simply checking this one. So if you are considering this one, this is 5 times of 65, that is 5 times of 5 is equal to 25, then 2 is there, this is 32. So if you are considering the difference, this is equal to 65, got it? So therefore that is 51 times. So if you are doing the simplification like this is 510. 510. So what about this 85? 85 is nothing but 17 into 5, right? 17 into 5. Or we just consider this 510. That is exactly divisible by this 85. So if you are doing this one, so this is 510. So this is 85 into. So what will be the value here? Suppose if we are multiplying this value by which quantity will be equal to 815. So like that we have to consider. If you are doing this operations by 6, if you are multiplying this 85 by 6, what it is? This is equal to 33 is there. 48 plus 3, 51. So therefore we are sure this is 6 times. I just do the simplifications in a complex manner because for reducing, saving our time. If you are sound in your numerical skills, so you can do the operations quickly like this directly by using these denominator values, we can simplify it. So finally, what we can conclude here the answer is 60,000. Got it? Here the answer is 60,000. So the answer is option 2. Then the next question. A man buys a television set which listed 5,000 at 10% discount. He gets an additional discount of 2% after the first discount for paying cash. What does he actually pay for the set? So here, first we just consider what is the listed price here. That is 5,000. This person enjoyed a discount of 10%. So that means discount of 10% means 10% of this value we have to subtract, that is equal to 500. So therefore the remaining that will be equal to 4,500. At this point he received an additional discount of 2%. Here 2% discount applicable on this value. So what is 2% of 4,500? That's a simple logic here, which is a simple calculation. 1% of 4,500 is 45. So it's easy to find 1% of any quantity. What you want to do? You just take the decimal place 2 places towards left. Therefore this 4,500, its 1% is 45. Therefore 2%, that is equal to 90. Then we can easily catch what is this remaining value. This is 4,500 minus 90, which is equal to 4,410. And the answer is option 4. So what does he actually pay? So here the question is final selling price of the product. So that is 4,410. The next one, the ages of two persons differ by 14 years. If 4 years ago, the elder one is 2 times as old as younger one, then their present ages. The ages of two persons differ by 14 years. So there you have to understand a very important concept that's related to age difference. It's an important concept in age problems. So difference between two persons' age is always same. Suppose we just consider, I am 20 years older than you. We just consider. So in this year. So what is the age difference between us after 5 years? So that's also same. Because when I earn this 5 years, so at that time your age also will increase the same 5 years. Therefore the difference will be same. So by using that logic, here this 14 years, so therefore we have to find out the present ages of these two persons. First of all, you have to observe which option contains the difference as 14. So here the difference that is not equal to 14, this is equal to 13. Therefore this is not the answer. And this one we just consider. So what about this one? So this is equal to 14. Yeah, there is a chance for this one. And this one, here we just consider that is 7 only. Therefore this is not the answer. And there is a chance for none of these also. Clear? So that's the situation. Because here we are not sure, just because of the presence of none of these. Otherwise we can conclude this is the answer. Then how we can do it? So here, 4 years ago, the elder one is 2 times as old as younger one, then their present ages. Here, if you are considering the ages of these two persons 4 years ago. 4 years ago. So what happened here, if you are considering the ages of these two persons, I am naming those two persons are A is to B. The elder one is 2 times as old as younger one. 2 times as old as younger one. Here what's the difference between these two persons? So these two persons, the difference is 1. So this difference is 1 in the sense this one is representing 14 years. If this one is representing 14 years, this is 14 years. So then what this 2 represents, this 1 represents. This 2 represents 28 years and this 1 represents 14 years. So these are the ages of these two persons 4 years ago. Therefore, what will happen? Present situation. There we have to add 4 to each of these two values. Therefore, the present ages of these two persons. Therefore, the present ages. Got it? So, present ages of these two persons. Just add 4 to this value. Just add 4 to this value. So, what I will get? This is equal to 32 years. This is equal to 18 years. So, these are the present ages. Therefore, we are sure our answer is 18 and 32. Order doesn't matter. So, which one is first and which is second, that's not a matter. So, this is a tricky logic. The value of 1 plus 1 by 2, 1 plus 1 by 3, etc. So, if we are converting this mixed fraction in the form of improper fraction, this 1 plus 1 by 2, how we can write? 2 into 1, 2 plus 1. So, the first value we can write it as 3 by 2. Similarly, second value we can write it as 4 by 3. And the third value we can write it as 5 by 4. And so on. So, this will be equal to 121 by 120. While observing the set of values, we got the idea that we can cancel these two values, these two values, these two values, etc. These two values. Clear? So, rest. Here the remaining quantities are 121 and on denominator that is 2. So, this is 121 by 2. What is 121 by 2? 60 times of 2 will be equal to 120. A remainder 1 is there. So, this is 60 and 1 by 2. So, that's a very simple question. The next, consider this question. 3 pipes ABC can fill a cistern in 8 hours, 10 hours and 15 hours respectively. Find the time taken by all the 3 pipes to fill the tank when the pipes are working together. So, it's a filling condition. So, by using this filling condition, each pipes are required different times, A 8 hours, B 10 hours, C 15 hours. Either you can apply the LCM method or we can consider it's in the form. Here A, efficiency of A. So, A can fill the pipe in 8 hours and B can fill the pipes in 10 hours and C can fill the pipe in 15 hours. Got it? So, what's the total they required to fill the tank? Total time taken to fill the tank. So, there we are considering there is a direct result. So, that is A plus B plus C. So, how it is? The product of these 3 values, that is 8 into 10 into 15 divided by 8 into 10 plus 10 into 15 plus 8 into 15. So, this is the direct result. Got it? This is a direct result. With the help of this result, you can catch. That is one method. But I am explaining it's in a different way. So, that means if this pipe, each pipe required, this is 8 hours, therefore, its efficiency is 1 by 8. That means 1/8 of the total quantity in a hour. This is 1 by 10 and this is 1 by 50. So, this operation is same as this one, sum of these all values. So, therefore, we just add these values 1 by 8 plus 1 by 10 plus 1 by 15. That's the combined efficiency of these 3 values. Here we can take 120 as the common denominator. So, therefore, this is 15 and this is 12, this is 8. Got it? So, while we are adding these values, this is equal to 35 divided by 120. Or further, we can divide this is 7 by 24. This is the combined efficiency. Therefore, the total time. So that's the reciprocal of this efficiency, that is 24 by 7 hours. What is 24 by 7 hours? That is 3. And 3 times of 7, that is 21. The remainder 3 will be there. 3 and 3 by 7 hours. So this way we can catch the answer. Either you can apply this result. It's XYZ divided by XY plus YZ plus XZ. Or in this types of direct question, you can apply this fractional approach, or you can take the LCM of these 3 values. So all the operations are same in such a situation. It's not a tricky situation. So here we are considering the combined efficiencies of each person. Take the reciprocal of efficiencies for getting the answer here. Okay, then move to the next question. A man travels 72 km at a speed of 18 km per hour. Next 50 km at a speed of 25 km per hour. Then 48 km at a speed of 12 km per hour. His average speed. So what is the basic result to find out the average speed? So here this person's average speed. So what is the basic result? How to find out the average speed? Average speed, its basic result is total distance covered by total time. Total distance by total time. Got it? Here if you are considering in this question, this person traveled 72 km per hour. 72 km. At 18 km per hour, hence the time is 72 by 18. So because this is distance by time, speed, then we will get time. And the second person traveled 50 km at 25 km per hour. So denominator, so we are finding the time in each situation. And 48 km at which time, at which speed, that is for 12 km per hour. So then we can add up together this one. Here if we are simplifying this one, this numerator, that's equal to 72 plus 48, that's equal to 120 plus 50, 170 divided by denominator, this is 4, this is 2, and last one is also 4. So then what we will get, this is 170 by 10. So this many or this much kilometer per hour. Therefore the answer is 17 kilometer per hour. So that's a simple application of the basic idea, total distance by total time. Then the next question. How many kilograms of the tea powder costing rupees 34 per kilogram be mixed with 33 kilogram of tea powder costing 42 per kilogram, such that the mixture when sold at rupees 46 per kilogram gives a profit of 15%. So in such a question, which is the most easiest approach, that's the application of allegation. So application of allegation. So in such type of questions, we can effectively apply the tool of allegation here. In such a type of question, what you have to consider? First, you just think about what is the cost price of this mixture. So it is given that 46 rupee per kilo, it gives a profit of 15%. So from there, we can consider 115% of the cost price is equal to 46, because there is a profit of 15%. Then we can find out what is cost price. So that is 46 divided by 115 into 100. So for doing this allegation method, for allegating process, what you want to do? First you have to find out the cost price of the mixture. So it is given that the rupees 46 will gain 15%. Therefore, that is 15%, that price is 15% more than the original cost price. That's why we are considering the operation like this. Then we are dividing this one. Here this is 20 times, so this is 23 times. So take this towards here, that is 2 times of 20, which is equal to 40. So we got the first variety, its cost is rupees 34. So first variety, its cost is rupees 34. And second variety, its cost is rupees 42. And this mixture's average cost is rupees 40. So we have to allocate the values like this. Allocate in the sense we have to arrange the values like this. So this is the first variety's cost to price. Second variety's cost to price. That mixture's cost to price. If you have these three quantities, what you want to do, you just subtract the values like this. This is 42 minus 40, which is equal to 2. And do the subtraction like this. This is 40 minus 34, that is 6. Or finally, these values are in the ratio 1:3, which means if we blend this first variety and second variety in the ratio 1:3, that's a quantity-wise ratio, then that average cost should be equal to 40. So then here we just consider how many kilograms of this first variety mixed with 33 kilogram of second variety. So here the 33 kilograms, so this 3 is representing, 33 kilogram. Then what should be the value of this first variety? So here this 3 is representing 33 kilogram. Therefore this 1 is representing how much? So this is equal to 11 kilogram. Hence the answer is option 4. So understand that method of allocation. It's such a very useful, very simple method for finding these types of weighted average calculation situation. The situation is called weighted average. Why weighted average? These two quantities, this ratio is the weightage of the quantities here. Here both the varieties we purchased in different quantities and we blend them together to form a new mixture. But it's another very important understanding if you want to allocate in such a situation. First of all, you have to catch what is the cost price, our average cost price of the mixture. Then only we can move further. So that's why here in this question's first step is like this one. So 15% profit, therefore we can catch what was the actual cost price in such a situation. Okay, then we can move to the next question. Is another interesting question from geometry. The approximate area of the shader region in the given figure. Shader region or in the given figure. So here a circle is there and inside the circle there is a rectangle with the sides 15 and 8. So while we are considering a rectangle with the sides 15 and 8, so we can easily find out what is the diagonal here. So diagonal of the rectangle in this situation, that is the diameter of the circle. So here if you are considering this diagonal, so this diagonal is same as the diameter of the circle. So that is directly we can consider 17 centimeter. How we reached it directly? That D is 17 centimeter. Just because of the very famous Pythagorean triplet. So very famous Pythagorean triplet. Pythagorean triplets. So which is Pythagorean triplet here? 8:15:17. If you by heart this Pythagorean triplet, we can apply it directly here. So that means if the base is 15 and the height or altitude is 8, then the hypotenuse of that triangle is 17 centimeter. Otherwise, you have to apply Pythagoras theorem for finding the diameter. That is root of 15 square minus plus 8 square. Here we got this circle's radius. So that is equal to 17/2 centimeter. Then we can find out it. So first of all, here we just consider the area of the shader region. So for that, first we have to consider area of circle. Area of circle. So area of circle, we know that that's equal to pi r square. Here pi in the sense 22 by 7 and r square in the sense this is 17 by 2 the whole square. Got it. So here we got area of circle, that is 22 by 7 into 17 by 2 the whole square. So we have to simplify it. So this is 22 by 7 into this value, that's equal to 289 divided by 4. So for the simplification, this is 11 by 2. So what is 11 into 289? So we just multiply them together. So that's equal to 9. So while we are multiplying this one, this is equal to 17 is there, 1 is there. So this is 3179 divided by 7 into 2. So here we have to do the usual division process. If you are doing the usual division process, so what you will get, this is 4 times of 7, that's equal to 28 is here. Then 37, so 37, how much it will become? 5 times 35. Then 29, so that is 4 times, therefore this is 1/4 approximately, divided by 2. So what is the final value here in such a situation? If you are doing this one, here the final value, so this is equal to 227.07. Got it? 227.07. Then here we just consider area of rectangle. Area of rectangle. And we know that the area of rectangle is nothing but length into breadth. Here the length is 15 centimeter and breadth is 8 centimeter. Therefore, this is 120 centimeter. So we got the area of the circle as 227.07 centimeter square and area of rectangle as 120 centimeter. Therefore, area of shaded region. Area of shaded region. So how to find out the area of shaded region here? So that is area of circle minus area of rectangle. Area of circle as 227.07 and area of rectangle, that is 120. Subtract it. So what you will get? So this is 107.07 centimeter square. So which will be the answer here? Option 1. That is 107.07 centimeter square. Next question. 16,000 invested at 10% per annum compounded semi-annually amounts to 18,522. The period of investment. Here we know that the basic result amount is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 the whole raised to n. If it is semi-annually, then what's the result will be? A is equal to P into 1 plus R by 2, that rate of interest will become half, divided by 100, and the period, it becomes twice, so that is 2 times of n. So this is annual condition, this is semi-annually. So this is annually and the next one is semi-annually. Got it? Semi-annually or half yearly. Got it? So we have to apply the second result in such a situation. So therefore, how we can apply that result? So this is 16,000 into 1 plus, what is rate of interest? 10 by 2 by 100, the whole raised to a. How much was the period of investment? So that is 2n. So this is equal to 18,522. Or this one, we can simplify this one. So what it will become? So this is equal to, after simplifying this bracket value, that is equal to 21 by 20. The whole raised to 2n is equal to, on right side, this is 18,522 divided by 16,000. So we have to consider whether there are any common factors for these two values. We know that both these values are divisible by 2. So when we divide it by 2, this is 9. This is 261, 9261. This one, this is equal to 8,000. While observing this value, here we know that this is 21 cube and this is 20 cube. Got it? Just compare these two expressions. This is 21 by 20, the whole raised to 1. This is 21 by 20, the whole cube. This is 21 by 20. We can take it common, this cube. So then what we can conclude here, the exponents are same, right? So therefore 2n equal to 3. 3 years, therefore n is equal to 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 means 1 and 1 by 2 years. 1 and 1 by 2 years. And the answer is option 3. So this is 1 and 1 by 2 years. So understand this kind of exponential related operations. While observing this value itself, you have to catch it. So as these two values are 21 and 20, so most probably we will get a similar type of expression on right side. So based on this 21 and 20, only you have to think about which will be the exponent there. So through this tricky way, we can catch the answer of this type of question. Okay, then move to the next question. A and B together start a business and invest the capital in the ratio 23:24. If 6% of the total profit paid to the public dominated association for a charity and A's share is 1,656, what was the total profit? That means after the 6%, the remaining percentage distributed as per this ratio. Therefore, we have to consider, let the total profit. If you are considering the total profit equal to X rupee, this X rupees, 6% is distributed for charity, 6%. Remaining 94% is there. And share of A is given. So what is share of A? That is 23 out of sum of these two values, 23 plus 24, that's equal to 47. So this is equal to 1,656. Then we have to find out the total profit. So while we are simplifying this one here, we will get this is 2 times, right? 2 times. Or take this towards right side. Therefore, X equal to 1656 into 100 divided by, this is 2 into 23. Got it? So just simplify this one, 1656 by 23. So 1656 by 23. Got it? If we are considering how many times this will lie in this quantity, 1656. So is it equal to 7 times? Got it? So that is 7 times. If it is 23 into 7, what is 23 into 7? So that is 21, 2 is there. 14 plus 2, 16. Therefore, 7 times we can consider. So that is 161. 46 is here, therefore 2 times. So that is 46. Clear? So we can cancel these two values. So this is 72. And further we can cancel these two values. So what it is? 36. So therefore the total profit that is equal to 3,600. Here the answer is 3,600. So these are all calculative type of questions. Clear? So how we can quickly calculate it, that's your numerical understanding. Based on your numerical skill only, you can reach the conclusion easily. And the next one, it does half as much work as B in 3/4 of time. So here, if together they take 18 days to complete the work, how much time will B alone take to do it? So first we have to consider the relation between the efficiencies of A and B. So A does half as much work as B in 3/4 of the time. Got it? B in 3/4 of the time. So A is doing half as much work in B in 3/4 of the time. So then there we have to consider A does half as the work of B in 3/4 of the time. At that time we just consider if it will be A does full work as B in what quantity of time, like that. So therefore I just give it in a different way. Suppose if you are considering the case of A and B here, so we can consider relationship A and B here. So how to do it A and B? So if you are considering work and time, so work by time is equal to efficiency. So here A and B, first we are considering their efficiency wise relationship. A does half as much work as B. So when B is doing 2 units of work, A will do 1 unit of work. That's the first part. And in 3/4 of the time, so that means if B took 4 hours, then A took 3 hours. This is an easy way to reach the relationship between their efficiencies, because we know that work by time will be equal to efficiency. By using this trick, so this we will get this is equal to 1 by 3 is to this one, that is 1 by 4. Sorry, 1 by 2. Or we just make a cross multiplication here. This is equal to 2 is to 3. So don't forget, this is the ratio of efficiencies of A and B. So this is the ratio of efficiencies of A and B. Here we are considering their efficiencies of A and B is 2 is to 3. It's a very important understanding, work by time. This way we can easily catch it. Then it is given that A and B together can take. So here, what is A and B? So here, their efficiencies we have to add up together, that is 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5. And this combined group required 18 days to finish the work. Then how much time will B alone? What is the efficiency of B here? That is 3. How much time B alone required to finish the work? Now we can directly apply the concept efficiency into time, efficiency into time. So that's representing the same quantity of work. So therefore we have to find out what is this value. So this is nothing but 5 into 18. So that's the product of these two values divided by this 3. Got it? So we already learned that as a result M1 into D1 equal to M2 into D2. Similar way, efficiency into time, that is same as efficiency into time. So this is the combined efficiency of A and B. This is the single individual efficiency of B. By using this trick, we will get here this is equal to 30 days. 30 days. So that's the easiest way. Understand this tricky approach for finding the answer of this type of a question. First of all, how to reach this efficiency. As we know, efficiency equal to work by time. Efficiency equal to work by time. Based on this idea, we are reaching the conclusion like this. Okay, then the next one here. 2x plus 3y equal to 11 by 2, xy equal to 5 by 6. Then find the value of 8x cube plus 27y cube. By observing this one, here we know that this 2x plus 3y, if you are taking cube, then we will get similar type of an expression. What is the expansion here? First of all, a cube. Got it? Plus. B cube also we can consider, that is 27y cube. Then 3ab into a plus b, that is 3 into ab, that means 2x into 3y, into a plus b. So that is 2x plus 3y. So here we just consider these values, just substitute the values over here. So if you are considering, take this towards left side. That's our required expression. 8x cube plus 27y cube. So take all the values. Connection with this value, this is 2x plus 3y the whole cube plus, so and in this case plus become minus. So just multiply these all values. This is equal to 18xy into 2x plus 3y. So we have the values of 2x plus 3y and xy. So it is given here. Just substitute the values here. So this is 11 by 2 the whole cube minus 18 into xy means 5 by 6 into 11 by 2. So just simplify this one. This is 1331. by 8. Sorry, yeah, 2 cube, that's equal to 8. Just while simplifying this one, this is equal to 3. So then simplify these values. This is equal to 385. 385. Not 385, this is 15 into 11. That is 165 by 2. Or this is 1331 minus. Just multiply it by 4. So 8 by 4, 5 into 4, that's equal to 20. So why we have to do it like this? We have to keep this denominator also be equal to 8. 5 into 4, 20. 6 into 4, 24 plus 2, 26. 2 is there. 4 plus 2, 6. So that is divided by 8. So that is equal to 1331 divided by 660 divided by 8. Just simplify these values finally. This is 1. This is 7 is here. So that's equal to 13. So 7, 6 will be there. Then 671 divided by 8. Just observe. This is the first option. So that is 671 divided by 8. So there is a rearrangement of the identity. So while observing that expression itself, you have to catch what is the relationship there. Then the next question. Here cos alpha by sin beta equal to n. Cos alpha by cos beta equal to m. Then find the value of cos square beta. So here, if you need to find out cos square beta, we just consider what is n square plus m square for making it in the form of squares. So n square, that is equal to cos square alpha by sin square beta plus. So this is cos square alpha by cos square beta. Got it? So just we are constrained this and it will be in the cross multiplication form. At that time, how we can arrange these values, this cos square alpha into cos square beta, that will be like. So from this expression, we need to find out the value of cos square beta. Therefore, we can take this cos square alpha as common. So therefore, this is 1 by sin square beta plus 1 by cos square beta. Because here cos square alpha is common. So therefore, in this bracket, inside the bracket, this we can write as cos square alpha into this is sin square beta plus cos square beta divided by sin square beta into cos square beta. Got it? So here we know that this result finally it will become numerator is sin square beta plus cos square beta, that will be equal to 1. Or this is simply cos square alpha by sin square beta into cos square beta. From this expression we have to deduct this cos square beta. Take this cos square beta on left side, the rest of all the values on right side. Like that we can catch it. So if we are further doing the steps of operations here, see here, consider this one. Here if you are doing this cos square beta here. So therefore cos square beta, so this is equal to sin cos square alpha by sin square beta, cos square alpha by sin square beta into this left side n square plus m square towards right side, at that time this will be 1 by n square plus m square. So from this step you have to catch how we can express this cos square alpha in terms of n or cos square alpha in terms of m. Here with the help of the sin b is here, therefore we have to take this one. So therefore here we know that cos alpha by sin beta equal to n. Therefore, what is cos alpha? So here from this expression, here cos alpha, that's equal to n into sin beta. Therefore, this is n square into sin square beta. So here from this expression, so here we can easily catch it. It is given that cos alpha by sin beta. So cos alpha by sin beta equal to n. Therefore, cos alpha equal to n into sin beta. So therefore cos square alpha, so that is n square into sine square beta. So by using that result or substitution here, this is sine square beta into 1 by n square plus m square. Here sine square beta becomes simplified. Therefore, finally, this will be n square by n square plus m square. So many different ways we can reach the conclusion of such a type of question. So here, so this is one of the easiest approaching style. So here the answer of this question, that is n square divided by m square plus n square. So the answer is option 3. Okay, then move to the next question. Here we just consider, if a rectangular paper of length 6 centimeter and width 3 centimeter rolled to form a cylinder with height equal to the width of the paper, then its base radius. So first we just consider a rectangular sheet of paper here. Suppose a rectangular sheet of paper. So it will be like this. So it is given that its length is 6 centimeter and its width is 3 centimeter. So we are rolling this paper to form a cylinder. So to form a cylinder, so then how that cylinder will become? Cylinder will be like this, we can consider. So this is the cylinder. Here the height of the cylinder is same as its width, this width or breadth of this paper. So you have to consider the base radius. We know that the base perimeter, that is same as length of this rectangle. So base perimeter of the cylinder, base perimeter of cylinder, in this case base perimeter of cylinder is same as length of the rectangle. In this case. So how to find out the base perimeter? Base perimeter in the sense, so that's the circumference of that circle. So that circumference of circle is 2 pi r. It is given as 6 centimeter. Therefore, what is radius here? That is 6 by 2 pi, or which is equal to 3 by pi centimeter. So got it? So here the answer is option 2. So that's an easy conversion. So this point is very important. Here the height is equal to the width of the paper here. Next question, the speeds of 3 cars are in the ratio 2:3:4. So speed ratio 2:3:4. Then the ratio of the time taken by these cars to travel the same distance. Then we have to find out time. So time is nothing but reciprocal of speed. Therefore, that is 1/2:1/3:1/4. So how to simplify it? If you will get a ratio like this, reciprocal form, we just multiply all the ratio values by the LCM of denominators. Here 2, 3, 4, their LCM is 12. So then how we can convert it? So this is equal to 1/2 of 12, that is 6. 1/3 of 12, that is 4. 1/4 of 12, that is 3. So here the answer is 6:4:3. That's a direct conversion. Okay, then the next question. The area of a regular hexagon. What is a hexagon? It has 6 sides. Of side 2√3 centimeter. So here we have to consider what is the nature of such a hexagon. So if you are drawing a hexagon, regular hexagon, so this will be like, so this is a regular hexagon. Got it? So if we are considering this regular hexagon, here we can make it in the form of equilateral triangles. So how to construct it with equilateral triangles like this? 1. So it's basically the joining figure of 6 equilateral triangles. 6 equilateral triangles. Clear? We have 6 equilateral triangles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is given that its one side is 2 root 3 centimeter. Its one side is 2 root 3 centimeter. How to find out the area of an equilateral triangle? Area of equilateral triangle. Area of equilateral triangle. Got it? So that is root 3 by 4 a square. Therefore, what is the area of such a hexagon? Therefore, area of regular hexagon. Don't forget, it's a regular hexagon. Area of a regular hexagon. So that is 6 times the area of an equilateral triangle. So that is root 3 by 4 a square. Or this is simply, so if you are simplifying this one, 3 root 3 a square by 2. It is given that its side is 2 root 3. Just substitute this value over here. So therefore, this is 3 into root 3 into a square in the sense 2 root 3 square. 2 root 3 square. So divided by 2. Here we know that this 2 root 3 square. So that will be equal to 4 into 3. That is 12 into 3, 36. So this is equal to 36 root 3 by 2. Here, this is 36 root 3 by 2. So therefore, what is the answer here? That is 18 root 3 centimeter square. Hence the answer is 18 root 3 centimeter square. Clear? Then move to the next question. The height of a tree is 10 meter. It is bent by the wind in such a way that its top touches the ground and makes an angle of 60 degree with the ground. At what height from the bottom did the tree get bent? So here we just draw such a suitable diagram for this figure. So if you are drawing such a diagram here, suppose if you are considering the diagram. So 10 centimeter and it made an angle of 60 degree. It made an angle of 60 degree here. Suppose this is a diagram. This is a tree. Its total height is 10 meter. So this angle is 30 degree, 60 degree. 60 degree. Correct. In such a way that its top touches, makes an angle of 60 degree, the ground. What is the height from the bottom did the tree get bent? So this total length, suppose I am considering this is x and this is y. So this x plus y, that will be equal to 10 meter. Instead of considering this x and y, we can consider a unitary approach. If this angle is 60 degree and this is 90 degree, therefore this is 30 degree. The third angle is 30 degree. Here these sides are in the ratio 1 is to root 3 is to 2. So in a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle, we can consider the sides are in the ratio 1 is to root 3 is to 2. It is given that this root 3 plus 2, so that is the total length, total height. So root 3 plus 2 is representing 10 meter. 10 meter. Got it? So therefore, what this root 3 that we have to find out. Therefore, what is root 3? So how we can find out this one? This is 10 divided by root 3 plus 2 into root 3. Clear? Just simplify it. So if you are doing the rationalization process here, so this will be equal to 10 root 3 into 2 minus root 3 divided by, this is 2 plus root 3 into 2 minus root 3. So we are multiplying the numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. For avoiding the negative steps in both the places, I am writing it in the reverse order, that is 2 plus root 3, then its conjugate as 2 minus root 3. So while simplifying these values again, this will be in the form, this is 20 root 3 So 2 into 10. And this will be equal to 10 into root 3 minus 30. Divided by, this is 2 plus root 3 into 2 minus root 3, that's equal to 1. So that's equal to 2 square minus root 3 square. So that's equal to 1. Just consider that this numerator, that is 20 root 3 minus 30. So what is 20 root 3 here? So that is 20 into 1.732. So this is 20 into 1.732 minus 30. Just multiply these values together. So therefore this is 17.23 into twice. So that is equal to 34.46 minus 30. What's the difference here? That is 4.46, right? So here this value, if you are doing the operation 1.732, 1.732. So here if you are doing this step of operation, so this is 120 into 1.732 minus 30. So what about this one? This is equal to 34.64 minus 30. So what is the final answer here? This is 4.64. So here the answer is 4.64 meter. So that is option A. So with the help of this ratio, Pythagorean triplet, so it's an important ratio, distribution of the angles like this 30, 60, 90. So with the help of this ratio, we can catch these types of questions without writing the trigonometrical ratios. So you have to by heart those ratios, mainly two ratios there. One is 30, 60, 90. Another one is 45, 45, 90 degree. Okay, right. The next question. A policeman starts to chase a thief. When the thief goes 10 steps, the policeman moves 8 steps. So here we just consider, so here the ratio of the speeds of the police and thief, we just consider. Got it. When the thief goes 10 steps, so then at that time policeman moves 8 steps. Got it? 8 steps. Then the next point we just consider 5 steps of the policeman is equal to 7 steps of the thief. 5 steps of the policeman is equal to 7 steps of the thief. What it means? So 5 steps of the policeman, that means we just consider the distance covered in each step by the policeman as x meter or centimeter, and that by thief is y centimeter. Then 5 steps of the policeman, here we are considering equating this one, this is 5 steps of the policeman is equal to 7 steps of the thief. Therefore, we will get the distance they covered in each step are in the ratio 7:5. So then what do you have to write? So this is 7, this is 5. So here the logic we can apply. So in a particular time interval, this policeman make or keeps or moves 8 steps. Each step's distance is 7 units. And the thief moves 10 steps. Each step's distance is 5 units. Therefore, the distance they covered in a constant time interval, that is 8 into 7, that is 56. And here that is 10 into 5, which is equal to 50. Therefore, this is the distance they covered in a constant time interval. Hence, that itself is the ratio of their speeds. For considering the ratio of speeds, we just simplify these two values, that is 28:25. So that's a very simple type of operation. So while doing the steps of operation, the types of operation, you can follow this method for catching the answer. Instead of writing all the things, first you just consider in which order we have to find out it. This is policeman and the thief. Therefore, first we have to write police and second thief. And collect the data as per this order. 10 steps of the policeman. So 10 steps of the, so here when the thief goes 10 steps, policeman moves 8 steps. And the distance wise, we have to reverse this one. 5 steps of the policeman is 7 steps of the thief. So you have to write 7 with police and 5 with 3. Just multiply them together, find the ratio here. That's a simple operation. Here is a case related to successive discounts. A shopkeeper offers successive discounts of 20%, 10% and 5% respectively on Titan watch, which is marked at 1,500. So here the first one, 1,500. It's first offered a discount of 20%. You just simply consider what is 20% of this value. 20% of this value is nothing but 300. Just subtract 300 from this value. This becomes 1,200. For the 10% discount here, 10%. That 10% that's equal to 120. Therefore, this is equal to 1,080. So then finally, that is 5% discount here. So 5% of this value. What is 5% of this value? It's 10%, that's equal to 108. Therefore, 5%, which is equal to 54. 54. Got it? So if you are subtracting that 54 from this value, so what is this quantity? That's equal to 1,026. Here the first price, that is 1,026. Similarly, the second product we just consider, he offers successive discounts of 20, 20, 10 percentages respectively on Ajanta watch, which is marked 2,000. So second one, 2,000. So first 20%. 20% discount here. 20%, that's equal to 400. So that is 1,600. Minus another 20% discount here. So 20% of this value, 320 here. So if you are subtracting 320, this is 1,240. Right. Sorry, 1,280. Clear? Then further we are giving another one more discount of 10%. So here 10% discount, which is equal to 128. If you are subtracting 128 from this value, this is equal to finally 2 is here, then 3, 5 is here. So therefore this is equal to 1152. So these two are the values. Then what do we have to find out? What is the difference between their selling prices? If we need to consider the difference between these two values, here we have to find out the difference between these two values. What is the difference between these two values? So the difference between these two values is equal to 1152 minus 1,026. So here the final value is 1152 minus 1,026. 1,026. We know that this 26 and 26 will be equal to 52. This is equal to 126 in this case. Got it? So therefore the answer is option 2. So it's a simple calculation, successive variation calculations. You have to do the calculation quickly. So once you're familiar with this percentage of calculation, then we can easily do these types of questions. It's not a complicated one. The next one, if x minus 1 by x equal to 5, then find the value of x raised to 4 plus 1 by x raised to 4. So there, we have to understand a basic idea. If x minus 1 by x equal to k, then x square plus 1 by x square, so that is equal to k square plus 2. Got it? That is k square plus 2. Similarly, this is one result. Similarly, if x plus 1 by x equal to k, then again x square plus 1 by x square, so that is equal to k square minus 2. So by using this result, first it is given as x minus 1 by x minus 1 by x equal to 5. Then you can easily find out x square plus 1 by x square is equal to 5 square plus 2, which is equal to 27. So then we are applying this result. If x square plus 1 by x square equal to 27, then its square in the sense x raised to 4 plus 1 by x raised to 4, that is simply 27 square minus 2. So what is 27 square? 27 square is 729 minus 2. So the answer is 727. So the answer is option 1. So this conversion, with the help of these results, we can easily catch it. How to reach this result? You just simply square it. Think about it. Simply square it. What will happen? So like that we can catch the result. With the help of these results, 2 times applications. So with the 2 times of applications, we can immediately reach the conclusion like this. Okay, then the next question. The internal bisectors of angle B and angle C of triangle ABC intersect at O. If angle A equal to 100 degree, then the measure of angle BOC. So there is a direct result. There is a direct result for this type of a question. Here, if we are considering the direct result. So first of all, we have to draw a diagram here based on this idea. If you are drawing the diagrams like this, triangle ABC. Got it? So if you are considering triangle A, this is triangle ABC. So A, B, C. So this angle is 100 degree. Got it? 100 degree. So here it is given that the internal bisectors of angle B and C, triangle ABC intersect at O. So we are drawing the internal bisectors of triangle B and C. So internal bisectors, we can draw the internal bisectors like this. Got it? And internal bisector of this angle. So we can draw like this. So that meet at O. So that meet at O. So we have to find out this angle is 100 degree. Then what is this O? So here, if we are considering such a situation, so this internal bisectors meeting at this point, so how to find out this one, this angle, here it's split it like this one, this is half of this entire angle, this is half of this entire angle. Then we have to find out what about this angle. Based on this logic, we can easily catch it. So what to do this one, here angle BOC. So here angle BOC, so that is nothing but this in this triangle, angle BOC. So that we know that is 180 degree minus half of angle B plus angle C. What is this half of angle B and angle C? So that is 180 minus, while we are considering this big triangle, this angle B plus angle C is nothing but that is 180 minus angle A. 180 degree minus angle A. Clear? So if you are doing it simply, this is 180 degree minus, this is 90 degree, and minus of minus, that is plus 1/2 of angle A. So that's a basic result. Here angle BOC equal to, in this case angle BOC equal to, angle BOC equal to 90 degree plus half of angle A. So that's a standard result. Actually it's a proof of such a result. If you know that result directly, you can apply it. Therefore this is equal to 90 plus, it is given that half angle A equal to 100, therefore half of 100. So that is 90 plus 50 degree. So 90 degree plus 50 degree. So which is equal to 140 degree. So the answer is option B, or 140 degree, second option. So that's a basic result wise approach. At the same time, we can do the operations through proof of that result. So instead, it's the basic requirement is you have to by heart this result whenever we are considering, so that such an internal bisector situation. So at that time you can directly apply this result. And the next one, it's a question related to data interpretation. It's a simple set of data. The following pie chart, that's a circular diagram data, gives the marks scored in an examination by a student in various subjects. If the total marks obtained, that is 540, answer the following questions. Here, I just give you a very simple trick in this types of question. Here, this total mark is 360 degree, right? So that is 540. That means in this diagram, in each 1 degree, it shows how much? 1.5. 1.5 mark. So that's a very important understanding conversion here. In each 1 degree, that is 540 divided by 360, that is 1.5 mark. So therefore, here we just consider which subject the student scored 75 marks. 75 marks. So while observing this one, so here we just consider 75 marks is which degree here. So like that we have to consider. Or if we are considering it's in the reverse order, if it will be in the reverse order, 1 degree is corresponding to 1.5 marks or 3 by 2 marks. In the similar way, 1 mark is corresponding to 2 by 3 degree. Therefore, 75 marks. So we just consider which is the corresponding degree. 75 into 2 by 3. So which is equal to 50 degree. Just observe which subject has 50 degree marks here. So that's over here 50 degree. So that's in English, hence the answer is option 2. So understand that's a simple concept. So here 50, its 1.5 will be equal to 75 marks. By using that trick, you can guess the answer of further set of questions also. Here we just consider how many more marks were obtained the student in mathematics than Hindi. So here maths minus Hindi. So that's a simple application. Here maths, that is 90 degree. And Hindi, here that is 75 degree. So while we are considering this difference, that is equal to 15 degree. What this 15 represents? Each 1 degree equal to 1.5, therefore this is 15 into 1.5 mark. As we know, 15 into 15, that will be equal to 225, therefore 15 into 1.5, that is equal to 22.5 marks. Easily will get the answer. Got it? Similar way, think about the next one also. How many more marks obtained by science and Hindi together? Science and Hindi together. Science and Hindi together. So what is science and Hindi together? Here 85 and 75. 85 plus 75. That is 160 degree. Together. Then social science and mathematics together. Social science and maths together. So here social science 60 degree and maths 90 degree. So that is 150. So what's the difference here? That is 10 degree. What this 10 represents? As we know, 10 into 1.5. So that is 10 into 1.5. So what it is equal to? 15 marks. So the answer is 15 marks. So that's an easy type of approach. This types of a multiplicative factor we can find as per the given data. With the help of that multiplicative factor, we can find the answer of this type of a question. So these are the important set of 25 questions from that CUET model exam. There are lots of tricky questions like basic arithmetic operations, at the same time some of the algebraic result-wise approach also. And we discussed some of the geometric questions based on the result-wise approach as well as some of the result related to the mensuration part. That means solid figures and the comparison between solid figures and two-dimensional figures. Like that, various types of questions we discussed in this set also. So you have to make your preparation in a proper way. So your exams are almost reached. So hope you all have to do a proper, thorough preparation based on this practice. So right now we can wind up. Thank you.
A statement is given. So this is pretty much inequality type of questions. So statement is A less than G, that's equal to K. From that statement we have two conclusions, conclusion 1 and conclusion 2. We need to check whether these conclusions follow the statement or not. Conclusions follow the statement means conclusion must be valid for all possible values of given items here. So for any value of a and k, if a is always less than k, for any value of a and k in the statement, then we can say a less than k follows. Let's check it out. How do we check it out? There are different ways of looking at it. One of the easiest way of doing it, we give some position values, we give some values for this. So let's assign some values for this numbers, letters here. Let's look at this one, we take it as 7. A is less than 7 means the possible values of a less than 7. So it could be 6, it could be 5, it could be 4, it could be 3, it could be 2, it could be 1, any of these possibilities. And G is 7, G is equal to K, so K must be 7 as well. So ultimately, what we need to test is what A less than K. So if A is 6, K is 7, so A is less than K. If A is 5, K is 7, so A must be less than K. A is less than K if it is 5. Then 4, if A is 4, then K is 7 itself, so A is less than K. And even if you give some negative values for G, so let's say G is minus 4. If G is minus 4, A must be less than that. So A must be minus 5 or minus 6 or minus 7 or whatever it is. Or this is minus 4, so A must be less than that. So less than that, if it is minus, the number would be minus 5 or minus 6 or minus 7, all those possibilities. If G is minus 4, K must be minus 4 as well. Now look at that. Minus 5 is less than minus 4, right? Minus 5 is less than minus 4. And minus 6 is less than minus 4. Minus 7 is less than minus 4. So all the possible values of A and K, it is positive, it is negative, or it's rational, irrational, integer, doesn't matter. All those possibilities, if A is less than K, if A is always less than K, then we can say that the statement follows. This conclusion follows the statement. Look at the second one. K is greater than G. Well, K is greater than G. Well, can we say that K is always greater than G? Well, what is given here? G is equal to K or K is equal to G. Can we say that K is greater than G? No way. So it doesn't follow. So this is ultimately a simple example of a inequality type question. So let's take a look at the other questions, what is given here. Look at this. We have statements given over there. Question number 26, statements are given, and look at the conclusions. And this is how we answer it. Answer choice A if only conclusion 1 follows. Answer choice B, mark your answer choice as B if only conclusion 2 follows. Mark your answer choice as C if either conclusion 1 or 2 follows. And D if neither 1 nor 2 follows. And E, both conclusions 1 and 2 follow. Now let's look at the questions here. What we are looking for, the statement. So there are 2 statements here. A greater than B greater than or equal to C, C less than D. Now second statement, C is equal to E, E greater than G. So 2 statements and conclusions. 2 conclusions are there. D is greater than E, B is greater than E. So B is here. First conclusion, D is here and E is here. So the D and E are in 2 different statements. So ultimately we need to combine these 2 statements in order to deal with this conclusion. So how do we combine it? A greater than, B greater than or equal to C less than D. And which is the common letter in these 2 statements? C is the common letter, right? Is there any other common letter? C is the common letter. That's what we see. Now C is less than D. So here C is equal to E. So this C, that's equal to E. We just mark it like this. C is equal to E. And E is greater than G. That's how we write it. Now what we are looking for is D is always greater than E. Can we say that D is always greater than E? D must be always greater than E. So D is here and C is less than D and that C is equal to E. So if we give a value for C and E, well, C is, let's say, 5 and E must be 5 as well. In that case, D must be 6, 7, 8, whatever it is. So can we say that D is always greater than E? Definitely. The reason for that, the C is always less than D, or D is always greater than C, then C and E are equal. So if D is always greater than C, then D must be always greater than E. So that's correct. D is always greater than E. Then B is greater than E. Well, B is always greater than E. Can we take it as B is always greater than E? B is greater than or equal to C. And C is equal to E. That means B could be greater than E or B could be equal to E. So B is greater than or equal to. But this conclusion says B is always greater than E. B is not always greater than E. B could be sometimes it's greater than, sometimes it's equal. So it doesn't follow. Now look at this case. Look at this case. P is greater than or equal to Q and Q is greater than M. M is greater than or equal to N. And we have second conclusion Q is equal to S. Not second conclusion, second statement. So here look at the conclusions. S is greater than P. So we have S here, we have P here. So we need to combine these two statements. So let's combine it. P greater than or equal to Q. Q is greater than M. M is greater than or equal to N. Then what? Q is equal to S. So we'll take it as Q is equal to S. Equal to. Now S is greater than P. Look at this is S. And S is equal to Q. So you can take it as S is equal to Q, right? So instead of S, you can write Q as well. So Q greater than P. The conclusion is what? Q is greater than P. Can we say that Q is always greater than P? No way. Q is either less than or Q is equal to P. Can we say that Q is greater than P? No. So that doesn't follow. Why we have taken here Q? Because Q and S are equal. Now N is less than S. N is less than S. Look at that N. N is less than S. You can take it as S is equal to what? Q. So N is less than Q. Can we say that N is always less than Q? Look at this. Between N and Q, we have the signs Q is greater than M. Q is greater than or equal to N. So Q is greater than M. M is greater than or equal to N. So these are the two symbols. And of course, we know that if we give some kind of position, let values for those letters. So this is, let's say, 8. Then M is always less than Q, right? So it could be 7 or 6 or whatever it is. And N could be what? Either less than or equal to. So it could be 7 or 6 or all those possibilities. So in this case, we can see that Q is always greater than N. So N is always less than Q. N is always less than Q. If N is always less than Q, N is always less than S. So this is correct. So that conclusion follows. Conclusion follows. Second conclusion follows. First conclusion doesn't follow. This case, first conclusion follows. Second conclusion doesn't follow. Question number 26, first conclusion follows. Second doesn't follow. Question number 27, second follows. First one doesn't follow. Number 28, S greater than M. M is equal to Z. Z greater than T. T less than or equal to Q. And Q greater than V. That's a statement. And conclusions. First conclusion, V is equal to S. Second conclusion, Q greater than M. So look at that conclusions. V is equal to S. Look at that V here and S here. And how many symbols between V and S? One greater than symbol, one equal to symbol, one greater than, another greater than symbol, less than. So if you have between S and V, if you have contradictory symbols, so let's say we have some other letters, if you have contradictory symbols like greater than, then less than, or greater than and less than or equal to, if you have those kind of symbols, then you know what? Definitely, whatever the conclusion is given, that doesn't follow at all. If you have contradictory symbols between these two given letters, V and S. So here we have contradictory symbols. This is greater than and this is less than. So of course we have contradictory symbols between S and V. So that doesn't follow. That's the simplest way of answering those kind of questions. Now Q and M. Look at Q. So here it's Q and we have M. So what are the symbols between Q and M? We have an equal to sign, then we have greater than sign and less than sign. So greater than and less than are contradictory symbols. So whatever the relation between Q and M it's given, doesn't follow. If it is Q greater than M, doesn't follow. Q less than M is given, doesn't follow. Q equal to M is given, that doesn't follow as well, because we have what? Contradictory symbols in between. It says greater than and less than. So which are the contradictory symbols? Greater than and less than, or greater than and less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to and less than, or greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. These are all contradictory symbols. So both conclusions do not follow. Now question number 29. This is the statement right here. Look at the conclusions. S and T. Between S and T, look at this. This is S. Let me use another color. S is here, T is here. Between S and T, what are the symbols we have? Less than symbol here, greater than or equal to symbol here. Contradiction. If it's contradiction, S greater than T, that doesn't follow. Now V greater than Q. Between V and Q, well, we have greater than or equal to, we have greater than, we have greater than or equal to. So there is no contradictory symbol between V and Q. So V and this is Q. And the symbols here in between, greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Those symbols are not contradictory. If it's greater than or equal to and less than, that's contradictory. So now what we need to look at it, V greater than Q. So here this is greater than or equal to, this is greater than or equal to, here it's greater than symbol. So that means the greater than symbol would be dominating. So we can clearly say that V is at any value of V and Q, V must be always greater than Q. So V is always greater than Q. So that one follows. And if you have any kind of confusion, you may give some kind of values for V and S, V, S, P and Q. So let's say V is 8, you take it as V is 8, and S could be equal to, the largest value of S could be 8. If V is 8, S could be 8, and P could be less than that, so it could be 7 or less than that. Then if it is P is 7, Q, the maximum value of Q is 7. So anyhow, the maximum, for the maximum value of Q, we know that V is what? The maximum value of Q in this case, when we take it as 8, then maximum value of Q must be 7. So for that value, Q is less than V, or V is greater than Q. Or if you take a negative value, or if you take an irrational value, doesn't matter. Now next one, number 30. M greater than or equal to N, N greater than R, R greater than W. Then we have another statement here. So we have two statements and we have two conclusions as well. So let's look at it. E greater than W. So E, you can get it from the second statement, W from the first statement. So let's combine it. So how do we combine it? M greater than or equal to N greater than R greater than W. Which is the common letter here? Common letter, when you look at these two cases, the common letter what you see is W. So here we have W. W must be combined with W less than L, and L is less than J. J is equal to E. So this is the combined form of the statement. Once you get the combined form of the statement, look at the conclusions. E is always greater than W. E is here and W is here. E is always greater than W. Yes, look at this. Between E and W, there is no contradictory symbol. It's less than or equal to, less than and equal to. No contradiction. So that means this symbol. So W must be always less than E, or E is always greater than W. Next one, M is greater than L. So M is here, L is here. Between M and L, what are the symbols we have? Greater than or equal to, greater than, less than or equal to. So contradiction. Greater than, equal to, and less than or equal to, or greater than and less than, these are contradictory symbols. So any relation between M and L, it's not going to be valid here. So that means m greater than L doesn't follow. If it is m less than L is given, doesn't follow. M equal to L is given, doesn't follow. M is less than or equal to L, doesn't follow. M is greater than or equal to L, doesn't follow. So that's the case. So only conclusion 1 follows. Next one, here it is, 31. 5 is to 24. Well, at a glance we can see that 5 and 24, what is that connection? 5 square minus 1. Straightforward question. This is 8, and naturally what we are looking for is 8 square minus 1. Similar relation. 5 square minus 1, 8 square minus 1. 8 square minus 1 is what? 63. So that's the answer. Now next question, this one interesting, really interesting. Aryabhatta is mathematician. Varahamihira, is it a physician or is it an astronomer or a philosopher or poet? Varahamihira. Is he a philosopher, is he a physician, or he's an astronomer, or he's a philosopher, or he's a poet? I leave that question to you because you have many times you have seen this type of questions, or we have studied those kind of things in the school as well, right? So this is pretty much connected with your general knowledge. Actually, that question came from general knowledge directly to logical reasoning. Now, Paris is to Zine, New York is to what? So Paris and Zine, what is the connection? If you know what is the connection between Paris and Zine, it's pretty easy. So Zine is what? Zine is the river in Paris. Okay, so Paris city is on the banks of the Seine river. Same way New York City, which is the river passing through the New York City? Is it like Hudson? Is it like Washington? Is it like FBI? Is it like Thames? Thames is in London. Washington, well, Washington is not a river. Washington DC, it's a town. So it is not the river passing through New York. So Washington cannot be the answer. Thames cannot be the answer. FBI is Federal Bureau of Investigation, right? So that is not the answer. So then Hudson River. Probably you remember that a pilot who landed his plane, the engine was a faulty engine. He landed his plane in the Hudson River and everyone in the plane was saved. And at that point of time, it was in every newspaper that news was there. He landed the plane in the Hudson River because it's in the city of New York. There was no other open place to land his plane. What he did, a wonderful job. He landed it is in the river. Okay, next one. 34. 24, 126, 48, and what? 24 and 126, what's the connection there? 24 and 126, you can take the difference, or you may take it as 24 into 5 is 120, so 120 plus 6 into 5 plus 6. 24 into 5 plus 6 is 126. And 48 into 5. 48 into 5 is 50 into 5, 250. 48 into 5, 240. 240 plus 6, 246. We don't have such an answer. So this pattern, that possibility doesn't work. I'm pretty sure at least some of you have the answer by this time. What is it? 5 square minus 1. What is it? 5 cube plus 1. And this 48 is 7 square minus 1. And naturally what we are looking at, what? 7 cube plus 1. 7 cube plus 1, 344. That's the answer. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it, 24 and 126, that difference is 102. And 48 and 102 difference, that's 150. So 150 is a right answer as well. It's a correct answer, but we don't have such an answer choice here. So the best answer among the choices given, it's 344. The following questions are based on the 5 three-digit numbers given here. So 684, 512, 437, 385, 296. And the questions, we'll take a look at the questions. So question number 35, there's some kind of operations are mentioned over there. If 2 is added to the first digit of each number, 2 is added to the first digit of each number. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 2 is added. Then how many numbers this formed will be divisible by 3? If 2 is added here, so what you get here is 884, right? So here what you get 712. Here what you have 637, and this is 585, and this one it's like 496. And what we need to find out, how many numbers this formed will be divisible by 3. What is the divisibility test of 3? add add all the digits, and if it is divisible by 3, the sum is divisible by 3, that number must be divisible by 3. Here it is 8 plus 8, 16 plus 4, 20. That's not divisible by 3. 7 plus 1 is 8, 8 plus 2 is 10, not divisible. 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 7, 16. So that is not divisible. 5, 8, 5, 10 plus 8 is 18. So that's divisible by 3. Then here it is, so one of them is divisible by 3. 496, well, that is 19. 19 is not divisible by 3. So how many? One of them. Just one of them is divisible by 3. So 1 is the answer. Now that operation is completed. Now we have to look for a different operation. So look at the question 36. If all the digits in each of the numbers are arranged in descending order, so if it is arranged in the descending order within that number, then which of the following will be the highest number in the new arrangement? So all the numbers must be arranged in the descending order. So the largest number must be here, 8, 6, 4. Then this is 5, 2, 1. And this is 7, 4, 3, etc. So if you arrange that way, what you get here is 9, 6, 2. So the largest one must be 9, right? 900 and something. So this is 8, 5, 3. So 962 would be the largest number here. So the following will be the highest number. Which will be the highest number? Highest number, actually this 296 is the number, actual number. When we arrange it, what we get? 962. So the actual number which is given here, 296. So the answer is what? 296. The highest number is what? 296. When 296 is arranged, we got that, 962. Then what will be the resultant number? 36. What will be the resultant number if the second digit of the second lowest number is divided by second digit of the second lowest number? So we'll take a look at what is the second digit of the second lowest number. Which is the second lowest number? Second lowest number is 385. Second digit of that number is 8. So 8 is divided by the third digit of the highest number. Third digit of the highest number. Which is the highest number? 684. 684, the third digit is 4. So, well, 8 is divided by 4. What do you get? That's the question. The question is what? Answer is what? 2. Now, next one. If 1 is added to the first digit and 2 is added to the last digit of each of those numbers, then which of the following numbers will be the second highest number? Well, if 1 is added with the first digit, 2 is added with the last digit. So which of the following will be the second highest number? So 1 is added with the first digit and 2 is added with the last digit. So 7, 2 is added with the last digit 6. So 786. And 1 is added 6. This is 4. So 614. And 1 is added with the first digit, 2 is added with the last digit. So if that is the case, if you do like this, there is no need to do all this kind of time consuming jobs. Rather than you just look at the question, which is going to be the second highest number. Which is the second highest number in normal case? This is the second highest number in normal case is 512. So if you do this adding 1 and 2 with the digits, that number is going to be the second highest number anyhow. So because this is going to be 400 and something. This is going to be 300 and something. So naturally, this is the second highest number. So that second highest number is 512. So the answer, we don't have 512 here. So none of this. Now, if in each number, that is what it says. Okay, fine, doesn't matter. If in each number the first and the second digit are interchanged, then what will be the highest number? Okay, first and second digits are interchanged. So let's see what happens. First and second digits are interchanged. So let's take a look at that. Without interchanging each one, let's take a look at that. First and second digits are interchanged. What happens then? First and second digits interchanged. This is going to be 86. And here it's going to be 15. First and second digits are interchanged. Here this is 3 and 3, 4, right? This is 8 and 3. And this is 9 and 2. So the highest number must be 296. So 296 would be the highest number. This is the highest number. So without changing all those digits, you can get the answer here. Now this question. In each of these questions, a number series is given. Discover the wrong number from each series. Otherwise, mark your answer as none of this. Okay, fine. Actually, we don't have a none of this answer choice here. No need to worry about it. Anyhow, so find the wrong number. Discover the wrong number from each of the series. We'll try the question number 41 first. 41. What is a pattern here? Is there a pattern? If we have a pattern, if we get a pattern, that's easy for us to solve this question. 2, 3, 5, 9, 17, 33, 64. So what is a pattern here? 129. We don't need to find the next number in the series. What we need to find is the wrong number in the series. Discover the wrong number. So here, at a glance, what I see, 2 plus 1 is 3. So difference is 1. 3 plus 2 is 5. Okay, difference is 2. Then 5 plus 4 is 9. Difference is 4. And next 9 plus 8 is 17, right? So this difference is 1, is 2, 4, 8. So 17 and this 33. So it's 16 is the difference. And 33 and 64, what is the difference? Check it out. Or there is another way of looking at it. 2 into 2 minus 1 is 3. 3 into 2, 6 minus 1 is 5. 5 into 2, 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 into 2, 18 minus 1 is 17. 17 into 2, 34 minus 1 is 33. 33 into 2 minus 1. 33 into 2, 66. Minus 1, 65. So the correct number here must be 65. 65 into 2, 130 minus 1 is 129. So 129 is correct, but you know what? 64 is wrong. It's supposed to be 65 here. So the wrong number is what? 64. So 64 is the wrong number in the second question. That means question number 41. Now question number 40. 2025. 2116, 2116, so 2209, 2305, 2401, 2500. These are the numbers in that series. So take a look at that numbers. So this question number 40, 2025, 2116, 2209, 2305, 2401, 2500. What is the peculiarity of those numbers? 2500 at a glance, what I see, it's 50 square. Okay, that's 50 square. How about like 2025? You know what? The squares of numbers ending with 5, if you remember the shortcut method to deal with those numbers. So for example, like 15 square, 25 square, 35 square, 45 square, 55 square, all those numbers. There is a peculiarity of the squares. So 15 square, everybody knows that it's 225. And 25 square, 625. 35 square, 1225. And 45 square, what is that? So here there is a peculiarity. If you notice that, if it is a number ending with 5, the square of that number, when you look at that, there is a 25. 25. There's a 25. So this case, you know what, this number is ending with a 25. It could be the square of a number ending with 5. Okay, so look at the pattern here. Here 5 square, we have 25 here. Balance is what, 1. Here we have 25 square, we have 25 square, we have 5 square, that 25 is here. Balance is 2. Then here we have 35 square, so that 5 square part is here, 25. Then balance is what, 3. So when you look at that, here 2 became what? 6. So what happened to that? What happened to that 2? So 2 is multiplied by the next number 3, so we got 6. So 1 is multiplied by the next number 2, we got 2. And 3 is multiplied by the next number 4, we got 12. So if 45 square, what is the answer then? 5 square must be 25. Then 4 must be multiplied by the next number 5. So 4 into 5, 20. Then if it is 55 square, then of course 55 square, last part must be 25. Then 5 into, next number is 6, 5 into 6, 30, so 30, 25. 5 into 6. And how about 65 square? 65 square again, 5 square is 25, 6 and the next number is 7, so it's 42, 42, 25. So ultimately, what we are looking for here, it's 20, 25, that's a square of 45. Okay, so this is 45 square. This is 50 square. How about the other numbers? Are they the squares of some other numbers here? That's one of the angle you have to really think about it. If you know the squares of the numbers, like this is 45, if you know the square 46, 47, etc., there is a possibility of thinking in that line. Okay, or there is another way of looking at this question. You see that this is 25, this is 16, the last two digits, if you look at this, 16, and this is 9, and this is 5, this is 1. So 25, 16, 9, these are squares of numbers, right? So 25, 16, 9, so this could be 4. 4 must be the square, perfect square, right? So then 24 or 1, so 1, that must be the square, 1 square. And this is 0 square, 0 into 0. So ultimately, if you look at that way, the wrong number, what you get it here, it's 2305. That's one way of looking at it. There is another way of looking at that question. Since I said that is, you know what, the first one is 45 square and the last one is 50 square. How about the other numbers in between? Is it like 46 square, 46, 47, 48, 49? Possible. So check it out. You can see that 46 square, this is 47 square, this is 48 square. That's a simple trick of looking at it just to confirm. This is 46 square, right? So 6 into 6, 36. The last digit is 6 here. This is 47 square. So 47 into 47. 7 into 7? 7 into 7 is what? 49. So last digit must be 9. Here it's 48. 48 into 48. Well, 8 into 8, 64. So last digit must be 4 here. And this is 49 square. 49 square is what? The last digit is 9. So 49 into 49, 9 into 9 is 81. So last digit must be 1. So that is correct. So which one is wrong? 2305. So the answer 2305. So which is the wrong number? 2305. Discover the wrong number. So that is what we have to do in this question. Now pick the odd one. So pick the odd one type question. So which one is the odd here? Orange, pear, guava, and plum. So orange, pear, guava, and plum. So these are pretty much what? Fruits. Orange is a fruit, pear is a fruit, guava is a fruit, and plum is a fruit. So which one is different from the group? There are a couple of different ways of looking at this question. If you take them, all of them are fruits, then orange is the only citrus fruit in the group. At the same time, orange is the only juicy fruit. That means the juicy fruit means if you can extract the juice naturally. If you press the fruit, if you get the juice, that is what a juicy fruit. From all the fruits, from probably you must have seen the guava juice, all those kind of, that can be extracted using different methods. But naturally, if you kind of press a guava, you don't get the juice. If you press a pear, you don't get the juice. So these are not really known as the juicy fruits. So orange is the only citrus fruit, orange is the only juicy fruit. So orange is different from the group. At the same time, orange, you can take it as a color. All others are fruits. Orange is not a fruit. It can be taken as a color as well. So there are three different ways of looking at it. Now 43, colt, fawn, vixen, and joy. So what are they? Colt. What is colt? And what is fawn? What is vixen? What is joy? I think joy, everyone knows this joy, right? Joy is what? Young one of kangaroo. And how about vixen, fawn, and colt? Colt is young horse. young horse. And Faunus, young one of deer, young of deer. And Joy, young one of kangaroo, young one of kangaroo. How about Vixen? Is it a young one of some kind of animal? Actually, Vixen is a female fox, female fox. So all others are young ones in the group, and Vixen is the one which is different from the group. And 44, basket, barrel, barrow, and bag. So basket, barrel, barrow, and bag. So what is the difference? Basket, you know, everybody knows what is basket. Everybody knows what is barrel, and barrow, and bag. Basket is used to keep something, right? Fruit basket, and the basket is used for keeping many other things. That is basket. And barrel, of course, barrel you can keep liquid, or sometimes you must have seen the garbage barrels where the garbage is kept. So that is barrel. And barrow, probably you see the wheelbarrow. It's used by the people for, especially in construction sites and all, they use it for transporting either cement bags or kind of any kind of another sand or any of those kind of things. So that's barrow. And bag. Bag is where we keep something, right? So if it is traveling, or even if it is not traveling, when you are at home in your hostel, you keep all these items in the bag. So ultimately, baskets is used for keeping something. It could be fruits, or it could be biscuits, or it could be anything. And barrel is used for keeping something, liquid or solid or whatever it is. And bag is used to keep some items, clothes or any other items. However, barrow is not really used for keeping some items, it is used for transportation. So barrow is one which is different from the group. So this case barrow is the answer, this case Vixen is the answer, this case orange was the answer. Alright, now number 45. Picture, saucer, tumbler, and jug. The tumbler, everybody knows what's a tumbler. Tumbler is a glass. Jug, everybody knows that what's jug. And saucer, cup and saucer, right? Saucer, a small plate, which is where the cup is kept. So saucer. And how about pitcher? What is pitcher? Pitcher is again something like a jug. Especially this word is used when it is alcoholic beverages, something like beer and all those kind of beverages. Usually in some of the pubs they use this word pitcher, one pitcher of beer. So that is what it is. So pitcher, anyway, it is something which is a glass vessel to keep liquid. So that is the meaning. So pitcher and tumbler and jug. So ultimately these three things used to handle liquid. But saucer, it's a small plate. So that one is different. So this is not the other picture. This picture is different. This picture, you know what is that picture. But this spelling is different. P-I-T-C-H-E-R. Picture. Okay, fine. So let's go for next question here. We have 6 books. A, B, C, D, E, and 6 books. A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, that's good. Correct. And are stacked on a table. The book D is above A. Book D is above A, but B is below E, and book C lies above D, and the book E is below A. There is exactly a book between C and D, or A and D. Okay, so these are the conditions given to us. Now let's take a look at it. We have 6 books here, A, B, C, D, E, and F. They are stacked on a table. Book D is above A. Book D is above A. We have no idea is there any book in between, but book D is above A. And B is below E. So B must be below E. So B must be below E. And is there any book in between? We have no idea. And how about the connection between D and A and EB? We have no idea. Either EB is above this books, or E is above this D and B is below that, or like the other way, E could be here or it could be here, or it could be here. We have no idea. Let's let it be there. Book C lies above D. Okay, so book C is above D, and the book E is below A. Okay, that clarifies. Book E is below A. So A is here, E must be below A, and definitely B must be below E. So B must be here. And the condition, the last part of the condition says there is exactly a book between C and D. There is exactly a book between C and D, or between A and E. Between A and E. So there are 6 books. We have 5 books over here that's arranged. Then one more book is missing. What is that? One book is missing. What is that? F. F is missing. Where is F? F could be either here or F could be here. There are 2 possibilities. So we'll arrange that both possibilities here. Let's assume that F is here. One of the possibility, F is here. C, F, D, A, E, B. The other possibility is C, D, A, F, E, and B. That's the second possibility. So these 2 are the possibilities we have here. Now, question, which book is one above the bottommost one? So, which book is one above the bottommost one? When we look at both arrangements, the book above the bottommost one is E. In this case, it is E. So, in both arrangements, it's E. So, the answer must be E. There's no confusion at all. Now, 47. How many books are between C and E? How many books are between C and E? So look at that C here, look at E here. How many books between C and D? 3 books between C and D. And in this case, how many books between C and D? Exact 3 books. So the answer is what? 3. However, if they ask a question something like how many books between, let's say, D and or maybe like E and C. That is what it is asked, right? A and C. How many books between A and C, or C and A? So if there is a question like that, so look at this case. Between C and A, how many books? We have 2 books between C and A. And in this case, how many books between C and A? Only 1 book between C and A. So that case, you may have 2 different answers for this question. So either your answer must be either 1 or 2, or your answer could be what? Cannot be determined or data inadequate. So if you have a question like this, how many books between C and A? But this case, the question was asked how many books between C and E. If you take C and D, in both cases, the number of books between C and D is exactly same. Number is exactly same, but order is different. So our question is what? Number. So 3 is the answer. Now, next one. These are again syllogism type questions. So let's take a look at that. How to deal with these questions. Statements, conclusions. So go for statements first. All spoons are plates. Some plates are dishes. All spoons are plates. Some plates are dishes. Some plates are dishes. So these are dishes. And no dishes are forks. So there is no intersection between dish and fork. No dishes are forks. So that's a basic diagram. Now look at the conclusion. No fork is a spoon. Well, no fork is a spoon. It's exactly correct. However, it's negative conclusion, so we have to negate it. When you negate it, some forks are spoon, some forks are spoon. So when you draw the new diagram, fork must be intersecting with a spoon. Well, fork can intersect with a spoon, but fork cannot intersect with a dish. So fork can intersect with a spoon. So new diagram exists, original conclusion doesn't follow. Now, second conclusion. Some dishes are not forks. Some dishes, they are not forks. Look at that. Some dishes over here, they are not really fork. That's correct. However, it's negative, so we have to negate it. So we negate it, that becomes some not. When you negate it, that becomes all. All dishes are forks. All dishes must be fork. Well, all dishes cannot go inside fork because dish and fork cannot intersect. So this diagram doesn't exist, conclusion follows. So the answer is only conclusion, 2 follows. So mark your answer as what? Only 2 follows. So mark your answer as B. Next one. Some M's are not T's. Some M's are not T's. So that's how the statements. All T's are K's. All T's are K's. All T's are K's. And some M's are not T's. And no K's are L's. So there's no intersection between K and L. No K's are L's. And some M's are not T's. So M and T, there is no intersection. So some M's are not T's. So this is the diagram. And conclusion. At least some M's. At least some means it is some. Some M's are L's. Some M's are L's. That's a positive conclusion. Some M's are L's, not at all. So invalid for the basic diagram, doesn't follow. Now second conclusion, some T's that can be M's. Some T's that can be M's. Of course, some of the T's that can be M's, or all the T's that can be M's. There's no issue. Some M's are not T's. That's what it says. Some M's are not T's. Some of the M's are not T's, but all T's that can be M's. So some of the T's that can be M's are being L's is not a possibility. So that is what the conclusion given to us. We need to check it. So some of the T's that can be M's. So some of the T's that can be M's. So these are some of the T's that can be M's are being L's. So those T's being L's, is not a possibility. That is what the question says. First of all, check whether it's a possibility or not. So for the time being, I covered that not possibility part. Not part. I'll just cover it. Okay. So some T's that can be M's are being L's is a possibility. So some T's that can be M's are being L's. Well, look at that, T's. No T cannot be L because L and K cannot intersect. All the T's are inside this K. So ultimately T and K cannot intersect. So some T's that can be M's being L is a possibility? Not at all. It's not a possibility. So if it is not a possibility, then you know what? What is given here? It's given it as not a possibility. If it is given as a possibility, then it doesn't follow. But it is given as what? Not a possibility. That means that's correct. So it follows. These cases of possibility questions, you don't need to negate this kind of cases. Without negation, you can get the answer. Okay, anyhow, so that is the answer for that question. Number 50. Okay, so pretty much we are getting pretty close to our milestone for the day, right? So let's look at that question. Some kites are invisible. All devils are kites. No angels are devils. Okay, that's interesting. All devils are kites. All devils are kites. Okay, that's fine. And some kites are invisible, right? So some kites are invisible. At the same time, no angels are devils. So these are the devils. No angels are devils. So there is no intersection between angel and devil. So this is what the basic diagram. Now conclusions. Some angels being invisible is a possibility. So this one, it's given as R, but is a possibility. Some angels being invisible is a possibility. So look at that, some angels. Can they be invisible? That means the angel circle and invisible circle, can they intersect? Is there any issue with that? Well, angels cannot intersect with the devils, but angels can intersect with invisible. So that means some angels being invisible. At this point of time, look at the basic diagram. Angels are not intersecting with the invisible, but the question is, Is it a possibility? Can these angels can intersect with invisible, or some angels being invisible? Is it a possibility? Definitely it is a possibility, because angels can intersect with invisible. So some angels being invisible, it's a possibility. So that follows. Next one, no angels are kites. Well, look at this, angels and kites. No angels are kites, that's correct. However, that's negative. If it's a negative statement, no angels are kites, if it's a negative statement, you have to, if it is valid, in this case it's valid, what do you do? You have to negate it. When you negate it, what do you get? Some angels are kites. Some angels are kites. So when you negate it, you have to draw a new diagram. Some angels must be kites. Is it possible for angels to intersect with the kites? Angels to intersect with the kites. Well, angels cannot intersect with the devils, but without intersecting devils, is it possible for angels to intersect with the kites? Yeah, it is possible. So that means some angels are kites. You can draw a new diagram, angels intersecting kites. That means new diagram exists, original conclusion doesn't follow. Even though it is valid for the basic diagram, since the new diagram doesn't exist, the conclusion doesn't follow. Okay, so this is what we have for the day. So we have done a number of questions, especially some of the questions from the area of inequalities. So that is the first time we are dealing with those kind of questions, right? So last session and this session we have done a number of questions from inequalities as well. So we call it a day. Now let's say goodbye for the time being. Thanks for watching. See you next time.